Hi, this is Janet Eifert. In this video we're going to work through my directed numbers worksheets. We're going to add and subtract, multiply and divide positive and negative numbers, and we're going to start on algebra. So there's the contents of the book. You can download the book by clicking on the link below. Then you get a book in PDF form. You can print it out as many times as you like. Work through the worksheets, and it's got all the answers as well. Let's get started. Add and subtract positive and negative numbers. So if we say 3 take away 5, how do we do it? We use our number line. We go to 3 and then we need to take away 5, so we go into the negative direction. We go negative there, we go positive here. So from the 3 we go negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your answer is then minus 2. Do you want to try the next one? Then pause the video. 5 take away 8. We start at 5, we go in the negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we end at minus 3. Okay, now this one. We have a minus 5, a plus and a minus 6. So there's two signs next to each other. So when two signs are next to each other, change to one sign. A plus and a minus is the same as a minus. A minus and a plus is the same as a minus. A minus and a minus is the same as a plus. Okay, so two of the same signs make a positive. Two of the opposite signs make a negative. Okay, so in other words, this plus and minus is going to become a minus. So this will be minus 5 minus 6. So go to minus 5 on your number line, and we go back 6 in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in other words, your answer is minus 11. Okay, you try to do the rest. We can work through this one. Make the two signs next to each other one sign. So we've got the minus 7. This plus and minus are opposite signs, and opposite signs become a negative. So that becomes a minus, and we've got the 11. So on your number line, minus 7 and go back 11. Okay, pause the video, you finish this. I'm moving now to the answers. And there's your answers. Did you get the minus 18 and the minus 4? Okay, pause the video, check, we're moving on. Now, when the signs are different, the answers is negative. And when two signs are next to each other, make one sign. Okay, pause the video, try to do this on your own, try to think of a number line. You can also print out the number line in the book and use that, or you can draw your own number line. Okay, pause the video and do this. I'm moving now to the answers. And there you go, there's the answers. Could you do this minus 4, minus 5? If you think of having a number line, and there is 0, and there is your minus 4, thinking of moving back another 5, going back another 5, which takes you to minus 9 in the negative direction. Now, if you have something like this, that will become a negative, won't it? So it will become 2 minus 1, which gave you the 1. Those two signs, a minus and a minus, make a plus. So that really became minus 4 plus 8, which is then plus 4. There we've got brackets. What does that mean? It simply means the same as what it did before. We can take away the brackets because there's just the invisible 1 in front, and if you times 1 by anything, it's just 1. So that is the same as saying 4 plus minus 1. and the plus and the minus make a minus. So 4 minus 1, which is 3. Okay, that became 5 minus 2, which is 3. This became 3, and remember we can take away the brackets because there's only an invisible 1 there. And a minus next to each other make a plus. So it's 3 plus 4. Okay, I'm moving on. Now you can have a go at this. It's temperatures and it's a magic square. I will quickly explain to you how a magic square works. We are going to look for our magic number by everything. These 3 must add up together, these 3 must add up together, all to your magic number. These 3, this. Every 3 in a column or row or diagonally must add up to your magic number. Now we can find the magic number by adding this together, minus 4 plus 0 plus 4. If you go to minus 4 in your number line and you plus nothing, you end with minus 4. If you plus 4 to minus 4, you end on 0. So my magic number is 0. So let's look if we can find then this number here. We have to say 2 minus 3. And if we have 2 and we take away 3, we end at minus 1. But we want to go back to 0, so we have to plus 1. In other words, that's a 1. Okay, now we can work out this number here. We have minus 4 and we plus 1. That gives us minus 3. If we have minus 3 and we want an answer of 0, we need to plus 3. So that's going to be a 3. 2, 0 and what add up to 0? That is minus 2, isn't it? Minus 2 plus 2 is 0, and that is 0. Okay. 4 minus 3 is 1. And 1 minus 1 is 0. We can check it by diagonally adding up. Minus 1 plus 1 is 0, and the 0 doesn't influence it. 3 plus 0 is 0. Minus 3 is 0. Okay, so all of them add up. All the rows and columns and all the diagonals add up to 0. See if you can find this magic number. And then if you can get this right. Pause the video to do that. I'm going to move on to the answers. And there's the answers. Your magic number was minus 3 there, and this is what it should have looked like. To work out the means, you had to add this up, which was minus 12, and then we divide by the number. There were 4 values, so we divided by 4. Same there, you should have had an answer of minus 210, and divide by the number, which is 1, 2, 3 numbers. Okay. Pause the video, I'm moving on. And we are going to multiply and divide positive and negative numbers. Now it's again the same thing as before. When the signs are different, the answer is negative. Okay, opposites give a negative. When the signs are the same, the answer is positive. Same signs give a positive. Okay? So here what we're going to do, if it is invisible like here, there is nothing in front of the 3, that means that is a plus. And a minus times a plus, it is opposites. So it gives a negative. And 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, pause the video, you try to do the rest. Let's see. A minus times a plus is a minus. And 4 times 6 is 24. Pause the video, I'm moving on to the answers. Now, did you get these answers? What about brackets? That seems to be confusing. But it doesn't matter if there's brackets or not. It just means this is a number times a number. And how do we times positive and negative numbers? You first times the sign. A minus and a plus. A minus times a plus give a minus. And 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, let's look at dividing. A minus divided by a plus. Remember, invisible plus. Opposite signs give a negative, and 49 divided by 5 is 9. Okay, there's lots of practice. We're already on page 12 here. Lots of practice for you in the workbook. Click on the link below to download it. We're moving on. And now this is something that I find that students struggle with a lot. Let's see, what is 3 times 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. So a short way of writing that is 3 to the power of 3, which is 27. But now minus 3 cubed. What would that be? The minus just stay in front because we have to cube first, so it will be minus 27. Now let's look still at 3, but now it's a minus in front. So what is this? It's a minus times a minus, which is a plus. And a plus times a minus is a minus. In other words, there's a minus. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. What this is it's exactly the same as this. It is the minus 3 that you cube. So it's minus 3 times minus 3 times minus 3, which we know is minus 27. Okay? And here we have minus, that minus, but we know that that answer is minus 27. And two minuses next to each other make a plus. So it's plus 27. Now we don't write plus 27, we would just say the answer is 27. We make that plus invisible. So what do you think is 9 squared? That is 9 times 9, 81. Minus 9 squared. What does that mean? That means minus 9 times minus 9, and a minus times a minus is a plus, and 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, what would be this? Minus and then 9 squared. We know that 9 squared is 81, and the minus is just in front of it. We need to do the powers first, and then the sign was just there and it stayed there. It is minus 81. Okay, pause the video, try to do the rest. We're moving to the answers. Sometimes I have A-level students struggle with this topic. They don't understand what is the difference between minus 2 all squared and minus 2 squared. You need to make sure you understand why that is 4, why that is 4, why that is minus 4. Okay, that is very important to understand. And then we play around with these numbers with signs in front. See that you understand how to get these answers. Okay, pause the video. I'm moving on. Now we are going to try to answer this. Two numbers add together to 14. The product of the two numbers is 48. So if two numbers add to get 14, it can be 1 plus 13, 2 plus 12, 3 plus 11, and so on. You can go on and make a long list. So that is going to be a long list. So I think the product of two numbers is 48. That is going to be a shorter list. So why don't we see if we can start here and if that can bring us to the answer quicker. So the product, that means you times two numbers together to give you 48. Let's think. It is 1 times 48, isn't it? With 1 and 48 I cannot make 14, so 2 times half of 48 is 24. I cannot really make 14 with a 2 and a 24, no. Is it in my 3 times table? It is actually, yes. Because 48 divided by 3. 3 goes in 4, 1, remainder 1, 6. 13, 3 times 16. But with a 3 and a 16, I cannot make a 14. So, is it in my 4 times table? It is 4 times 12, isn't it? Can I make a 14 with that? No. No, I can't. Is it in my 5 times table? No. Is it in my 6 times table? Yes. It is 6 times 8. 6 times 8. And can I make a 14 with 6 and 8? I can, because 6 plus 8 is also 14. In other words, that is 6 and 8. Okay. Okay, pause the video, you try the rest. Now let's just look together at this. The product of two numbers is 21. In other words, the two numbers times together to give minus 21 in fact, and the sum is minus 4. So here we work with the negative numbers, can be a little bit trickier. So let's just see how can we get 21. Forget about the sign for the minute. It's 1 times 21. 2, no. 3, yes. 3 times 7. 4, no. 5, no. 6, no. 7. Okay, as soon as I say 7, I see I've already had it. So it's only one of these two numbers. It can only be 1 times 21 and 3 times 7. That gives me 21. But now we have to think. We need a minus 21, so we need opposite signs. In other words, it can be minus 1 times 21, or it can be 1 times minus 21. Or 3 times 7, so it can be minus 3 times 7, or it can be 7 times minus, 3 times minus 7. So those are the 4 options to give me minus 21. Now which of these can make a minus 4? Minus 1 plus 21, minus 1 plus 21 give us 20. So it's not that one. Plus 1 minus 21 give us minus 20. So that isn't minus 4. Minus 3 plus 7, what does that give you? That gives you 4. And then 3 minus 7, that gives you minus 4. So it wasn't that, it is this one. In other words, what are the two numbers? It is 3 and minus 7. 3 and minus 7. Okay, pause the video if you still want to give it a go. I'm moving to the answers, and there's your answers. Please check that you can work it out by first multiplying and then see which ones would add up to that number. These are really fun to do. Pause the video and try those. Also, there's a lot more practice in the workbook. I'm moving on. Now we're going to start our algebra. Now think of your number line. If you go to minus 2 and you plus 4, what do you get? You get 2. So if I say to you minus 2a, minus 2 apples plus 4 apples, then you simply end up with 2 apples. Okay, we call this collect like terms. Add and subtract like terms. What is minus 3 plus 6? That is 3. So minus 3 bananas plus 6 bananas is 3 bananas. Okay. You try those. I'm just going to look at the multiplying. I use the same numbers as before because I find that this causes a lot of confusion with my students. They don't know the difference between adding and subtracting like terms or timesing them. So minus 2 times 4, first times the signs. A minus times a plus is a minus, and 2 times 4 is 8. Okay? In other words, minus 2 times 4, we know it is minus 8. And what is a times a? Now in algebra we don't write the times, so what we would write is a times a, like that. But now it looks a bit funny to write two a's next to each other. What would we do if there's 10 a's next to each other? It just doesn't work. We don't want to write it out, so we will just write that as a squared. Okay, that is a good way to start thinking about it. Later when you do indices, we will do it in more detail. At the moment when you start algebra, think about it this way for the minute. Okay, so in other words, what is the answer to 5 times minus 6? It's a plus times a minus is a minus. 5 times 6 is 30. So 5b times minus 6b. First times your signs, a plus times a minus is a minus. 5 times 6, 30. And now it is b times b. But we know that we don't write bb, we write it as b squared. Okay, pause the video, you try to finish the rest. Here you use your number line. Here you use just the fact that you times, and you put your letters together if you have more than one. Okay, move on to the answers now. There's your answers. Please check. Pause the video to check. Thank you so much for listening. You can go to my website janetplusmaths.co.uk for more videos and workbooks. Thank you.